set up here. Hope everyone can hear me okay. We're currently in the hotel. We gotta you gotta scoot a little closer, you know. Probably stink at this point. We were at Fun Spot Atlanta from about 11:15 until about 10:30 almost. By the time we got off the last ride on Arie Force One. So Matt's been on about 1,000 coasters or more, every RMC. Adam's been on most RMCs, including Still Vengeance and Gwazi. And we rode Arie Force One. I got, I think, 25 rides or something, 26 rides. What did you get?
25.
25 rides, yep. And then Matt?
27.
27. So between the three of us, 75 questions. Where's the chats at?
I got it right over here.
Oh, how do I do that? People chatting?
Live chat. Here we go.
I'm not seeing any chats. Someone put a chat in. I want to make sure it's okay. It's working.
There you go.
All right.
It's over on the side.
There we go. Alan Trotter, what's going on? We'll see you on Sunday at Carowinds. I was texting with you earlier today. That was fun. So it's just different on the iPad. That's what I'm not used to.
Yep.
So okay. So you can be the moderator of the questions.
I see him right here. Yep.
Perfect. All right. Matt has his computer set up. That way we can be able to have the questions being answered. It's a little stuffy in this hotel room. We just checked in, but we don't want the AC to be loud for the quality of the video. Again, we're at Fun Spot Atlanta from about 11 hours. We did leave for dinner for like almost 2 hours, but throughout the day, it was amazing. We had a wonderful, wonderful time, and we ran into, I want to say, upwards of 50 people that recognized me.
No, way more than that.
You think so?
Well, I counted 39 in the PM section.
It was like Beatlemania.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was fun. It was great
Lots
meeting
of
a lot of
followers.
people and everyone else. It was really, really cool. So that for me was the best part of the day. Meeting everyone and riding rides with some people. And I even had this kid who did not want to ride. I even offered him to buy him a shirt.
You did it on the last live stream. You offered him.
I know. I did. That's
Yeah.
right. The last offered him a shirt and his sister a shirt plus $20.
$20 cash.
Cash.
Yeah.
And
Cash
he didn't
money.
want to ride.
No.
Don't understand it. So let's go your questions.
All right. First one we have here is they want to know your top 5 U.S. RMCs now.
That's so hard because I'm always so focused on the top 3 now. But I'll go
Why would you
with
focus on the top 3?
because it got everything got messed up today. Okay, it was a very bad day.
Just for your ranking.
Yeah,
I thought today was an amazing day.
today was an amazing day.
Yeah. So
I will go with Wicked Cyclone.
is your number 1?
No, 5.
Oh, 5. Okay.
Then Lightning Rod before the launch was slowed down.
Okay. So a dead credit.
Dead credit.
Okay.
And then I can't give away what everyone wants to hear at the beginning of the live stream.
I got you. I was
was
trying. I think other people were just as
what
confused.
I think I'm going to say, people might not. I'm going to bed.
That's fine.
You know,
I
if
just
we're
thought
staying
that
up
you were
late. You guys got to stay up late.
You do think.
Okay, so I'll continue that conversation in like maybe 10 minutes. This is not going to be a very long live stream because we're all tired, and we're doing Six Flags over Georgia tomorrow. So if anyone's on who's going to be at the park, be on the lookout for us. Adam, Matt, myself, we have a couple other friends we ran into today. So what other questions besides what everyone wants to know?
So you're not giving an answer, is what you're saying, for your top 5.
I gave partial answer. I gave
nothing that was applicable to like
they said
today's.
top 5.
All right,
I
what's
gave
your
top 2.
what's your top 3?
I'm not going to say it at the end.
At the
They're
end.
near the end.
Near the end. All right, Wicked Cyclone.
No, I'll
I'm
be
here.
nice. I'll be nice. I'll go with Wicked Cyclone, Lightning Rod, pre-launch or
a dead credit
when the launch was better, and then Still Vengeance, Arie Force One, Iron Gwazi. For me, this is not top Iron Gwazi. It was close. It flirted with it. It really did. And again, these guys have been on too, and I want to turn it over to them real fast. Adam, what do you think? I mean, as far as better than Still Vengeance, it's okay if you don't agree, it's fine. But you read it 25, 26 times.
So I haven't gotten 25 rides on the other 2.
That's true.
But,
That's true.
I'd say it was about tied with Iron Gwazi, maybe a little bit less. So maybe this would be my 3rd after Steel Vengeance and Iron Gwazi.
That's fair.
Which is not to diminish how awesome this ride is.
It really is great. And you?
I have no clue how many rides I have on Iron Gwazi. It's 300-400, maybe even 500. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's my favorite. It's the best. This is not an Iron Gwazi. It is.
Close though.
It's. I wouldn't say it's close.
The pacing, everything is perfect. I like Iron Gwazi's ending better.
I didn't like the end. And there's not an element on Iron Gwazi that I don't
True.
like.
Yeah, the end.
Every aspect of Iron Gwazi is good. And I would even say all of the elements back to back, they're excellent because they play into the next one. I think that everything up until that final barrel roll, the corkscrew, after the helix, on
that barrel is great.
It's great.
It goes into
but after that,
5 or 6 little.
It's just repetitive. It's a little bit painful. You hit the brakes way too hard, which I understand if you love pacing, that's probably something you would like, but that's just not my cup of tea.
And here's the thing, everyone's different. So if you like more airtime, you might like this better than some other rides. If you like more laterals or transitions, you might like a different ride. If you like better pacing. For me, personally, I love Steel Vengeance. It's great, but I feel like there's a lot of parts on Vengeance where it's like, okay, what's happening next? I'm ready for the next thing, and it's just almost dead space. I feel like Cedar Point just wanted to get the biggest, longest, baddest ride. And that's fine. But a lot of the stuff was just more or less, okay, here's another hill, where Iron Gwazi is just the perfection. Every element's just beautiful, and it flows great. And I really value the transitions that you have on Gwazi as you go from one direction to the next. And Arie Force One, and kind of Steel Vengeance, you're primarily going the same direction most of the ride. I mean, your Vengeance, you're kind of looping around the same path. And then Arie Force One, it's an L-shaped layout. Whereas Gwazi, it's just all over the place.
Yeah. So there's a question: better than Steel Vengeance or not better?
I personally, if I had to ride one ride,
okay, and you're gonna die.
Sure.
Or drop dead on the brake ride.
I would ride Arie Force One at night after a long day of operation.
Yeah.
Over Vengeance.
I think
now, if you go in the morning or even mid-afternoon, you're not gonna get the same ride. We started at 11:15. My anticipation was very, very high.
Yes.
And we rode back row, and I'm a back row RMC guy, and we all are, I think. And it just it was like a 7 out of 10. It was like in the middle of the path, like Twisted Timber, Storm Chaser.
A little overwhelming.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, that was it. I needed more. And then as the very next ride, it just, okay, this is more my language. And then it kept on getting better and better and better.
Every ride got better.
Every ride. And to the point where once the sun started setting and we got back around 7 o'clock in line, that's when it's like, okay, this is definitely top 3. Is it flirting for me personally with the top 2? And then once probably about 9 o'clock, then we got dark. I'm like, yeah, definitely top 2. I feel like I love Vengeance, don't get me wrong, but those 0G rolls on Arie Force One do not compete with any inversion Steel Vengeance has, in my opinion. And the outward banks on Steel Vengeance are fantastic, but Arie Force One, you have to ride it. This was opening day, so no one has practically ridden, obviously, Arie Force One, some people today. That outward bank turn on Arie Force One is so good because it's so long. Like you're out of your seat so long, and then you don't cut back until the very end.
And they cut it perfectly
they
too.
They do.
So it's like
100%,
exactly
100%.
aligned with where your body needs to be for the next element.
You are literally oh my gosh, there's a brake run right here, and you cut the very last second because it's a great. Then the head chopper is on the 0G roll over the arcade is just great. And then the little turn, the little pop of airtime after the 0G roll. And then the turn's great. Then the last inversion is flawless. And what I really love is, there's really not a bad part of the coaster. I don't really care for Steel Vengeance ending, where you just have the 3 or 4 little mini hills. And
It feels like a filler.
Yeah, and Arie Force One has that. But at least the hills are more hills. They're not like little bunny off the ground. They're 20 foot, 15 foot, whatever.
They're almost painful when you hit them at speed.
And they are a
Yes.
little painful, and our thighs are going to feel it tomorrow.
Yes.
But I really feel as if that it's okay because that was really the only section of airtime that's consistent. Because you have the little bunny hill after the Raven turn, and then you have the stall, then you have the outward bank turn, and after that you have the Maverick, the little double up, and the Maverick hill I call it because that airtime's phenomenal. And I think what my favorite part was the outward bank turn, and then that drop that we talked about earlier. That drop into the 0G roll is just it's Gwazi wave turn good. It's Gwazi barrel roll down drop good. And I think if Arie Force One kind of maybe went out into the woods a little bit and created a different ending, it would definitely be.
Yeah.
So I started thinking about it compared to Steel Vengeance. What elements on Steel Vengeance do I like more than the elements on Arie Force One? The only one I can come up with is the trust drop. That's the first drop. That's the only thing I could think of that I'm like, that has a superior element. And that's when I started thinking, you know what? I think actually I might like this more than Steel Vengeance.
Yeah.
Trying to be analytical, looking at what actually happens throughout the ride.
Yeah.
Steel Vengeance is way longer.
It is.
It's got a lot of cool elements.
1,500 feet of track more,
Yeah.
something like that.
And you're moving faster too, at least initially.
I mean, you're dealing with a 200 foot tall coaster to what, 130 foot tall coaster?
154.
It is 154.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, overall, it really is. If you're ever in Atlanta and you really do need to go, it's the best coaster in Georgia by far. And that's the beautiful thing about RMC is like it seems like every coaster they get better and better at it. And the fact that Fun Spot built this thing, we all have to come together as a community to spread the word and go out there and ride it because it's so good. And if you ride it again in the morning, you're probably gonna think, Brandon, you're crazy. It's no way better than Steel Vengeance or Gwazi. But if you ride it at night and get maybe a couple of rides in, I promise you'll start seeing the reasons why we're saying this.
Okay. So here is the weird question.
Oh boy, it's late. That's weird.
You're an RMC boy.
I'm an intimate guy.
You're a backseat RMC rider.
I am.
Front seat versus back seat on Arie Force One. Though.
Front seat. I think we are, at least you and I know you and I agree.
I agree too.
Yeah, Adam does.
And I'm normally backseat over front, but there's just something about it, especially at night.
Yeah, the night ride. We all got front row night rides. It was really, really good, and
some of us got last train.
Yeah.
By
So
themselves.
here's the crazy thing about it was, we were in line, and so we had the front queue pretty full, the back queue fairly full, and obviously the middle wasn't too bad. And then they close the line down, and most parks they have you fill in all the available rows and stuff. So we're like in the front row waiting. Oh, come on, please let us go. Sure enough, they let us go. And then they ended up getting everyone off the train right before us. And then there's a great couple in front of us, really nice guy from the UK and his, I guess, friend or partner or girlfriend from Brazil. They got front row ride on a Zen train. They didn't let anyone else ride. They did the first two cycles, but the last two, they let everyone off after you ride twice. And so they got to ride front seat all by themselves. So then Matt and I closed down the ride, front row, no one else on the train. It was still hauling.
It was hauling. It was I was counting on the final corkscrew to figure out how many seconds we went through there. It was 1.6 seconds.
Yeah.
Started the day at almost 2.25. And so it just kept going faster and faster and faster and faster.
I'm an honest man. This thing warms up probably more than any coaster I've ever been on.
Yeah.
From the start to the end, it was a completely different ride. And the night rides are really good. They didn't have any lights on the ride yet, so it was fairly dark. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that we met that been on more RMCs than we have, and they agree that it's the best RMC in America. Some people like it better than Gwazi. So it's not just me saying that. Other people are saying this. The hype is real. As far as favorite elements, we have what do you think about the favorite elements?
Soak and Thrills.
Soak and Thrills?
Favorite elements? You want to do that one first?
Sure.
Mine's the one you're calling the Maverick, what I call the airtime hill. You float up it, and you just anywhere in the train.
Yeah.
You just float right over top of it and you fall. I like it more than the first drop, to be honest.
I do too.
And then you go into the 0G.
I think that hill, the whole transition, the hill and then the drop, and then the twist, and then that turn after the 0G roll. Not the twist, but the 0G roll, and then the turn after. I like that better than the quad down of Lightning Rod. I do.
I love that it goes into that
everything.
helix.
You get everything you want.
Yeah.
You get the airtime, eject. I mean, Maverick good, El Toro good airtime. Then you get the 0G roll, which is almost as good as the Mosasaurus roll at Velocicoaster.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, it's on par. It's that good. And then
it doesn't hurt you.
No. And then you get the pop of airtime at that little weird twist.
And then you go right into a helix.
Yeah, that's up there. What's your favorite?
The outward break into the drop. I don't know the terminology as well as you guys do.
Yeah, over the station.
Yeah.
That I didn't really care for that in the beginning because it wasn't hauling.
Yeah, once it got fast.
Yes, that's when I
then
started
it became really fun. It
like
throws you just perfectly up, out and at an angle.
Yeah.
And then you realign right back, ready to go into the first pop up right before the Maverick hill.
Yeah.
And
that was
great.
Yep. And for me, I think my favorite. I think that whole, if I can loop together all those transitions, that's my favorite. If I had to pick one, I love the stall. The stall's great. I mean, the stall is, what I do on the stalls is, we rode it so many, 27 times or whatever it was, so it's a lot. As I look off to my left, this is always, because you're upside down for like almost 2 or 3 seconds, you just look, and I see the road, or I see the trees, or I look down.
I like to look down.
Yeah,
personally.
I see people below me looking up, taking photos. It's so wow.
I waved at a couple people as they're taking my photos.
It's just such a great. Every coaster needs this. Like the stalls are just amazing. And it just it really
feels longer than Goliath's, even though I think it's shorter.
Yes,
but it has just a feel like you just float a lot.
And someone on what's it called?
And it's not 2 to 3 seconds long.
Someone on Discord
it's
said,
really short. It just feels long.
Yeah, well, let's get to that. Whatever the super chat was. Whoever. Thank you guys
Smoking
very much.
Thrills ask, did y'all feel like it got faster? I felt like it was crazy, but it got faster throughout the day for
she was
sure.
there too.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Did we meet? Yes or no?
Now let me click on his photo.
Yeah.
See if it looks familiar. It definitely got faster, and I don't mean that from a qualitative. I think like I feel it got faster. I was counting how many seconds. I counted when my body crossed the first beam to the last beam. Every ride I went on, because I'm just a weird math nut like that. To figure out if we were speeding up or slowing down or staying the same. On the final one before you get into the quad bunny hills. And like I said, it went from 2 1/4 to go through that when we first started at the beginning of the day, about 11:30, and it was about 1.6 seconds when we went through it on the final run of the day. Every single run kept getting faster and faster.
Yeah, it really. Every run got faster, and it wasn't just us feeling that. You could feel the energy changed. The buzz was there in the morning because it's the new ride, but there was a different buzz at night, and that was really cool because this thing you just knew. And when we had Scott from Upstop Media and Coaster Force, the look on his face was like, "This thing's just amazing." And they rode it the night before, and to see them have that same glow in their face after they rode it again tonight, it's like this thing. I mean, Fun Spot has a winner on their hands, and John Arie, the junior senior, he's great. So they did a great job, and this park has room to expand. And this thing again, it started off a little underwhelming, and then as the day went on, it got better and better every ride. And we got back row, front row. I prefer the front on this, which is very unusual for RMC, but even the middle's good.
Yeah.
Like, this is probably the only RMC that I really like. I rode the middle probably more than the front or back. It was great. Every single row was really, really good.
I got a ride on every row, and then on the good rows, I got a ride on both load side and unload side to try to figure out which ones.
Here's the thing: the red side, like the right side is the blue track, left side is the red track, and from Thrilling Moments Photography, Jack, he's like, I like the red side. And they've been on like 50, 70, like 75 times.
I agree. Red side.
I like the red side, but basically the load side is phenomenal.
Just slightly better than the other side.
Yeah, I agree. So, yeah, it was really, really, really fun.
Smoking Thrills said, yes, he was there. He did not want to approach you because you look like you're really busy with fans approaching. He did not want to bother you. You were busy the whole time.
I was. I did not stop talking. I loved it. I had a lot of photos, which was great, and a lot of people. It was great. It was, again, if you ever see me, please say hi. It was a lot of fun, and did some interviews and everything else. Is there any other questions people are asking? Ask away, guys. We have a little bit more time here. It's really cool. I'm excited for the future of Fun Spot. But again, as a community, we all have to go down and check it out. Because if you're going to go to Six Flags Over Georgia, it's like 25-30 minutes away, and it's great.
It's about half an hour south of the Atlanta airport. So if you go to the airport, you get an Uber probably down there for $30, $35 would be my guess. A lot of people keep asking the question about if it goes faster later in the day, if it's better at night than in the afternoon.
100%.
You want to repeat?
Yeah, nighttime was really, really good, and as the day progressed, it got much, much, much better.
Yes.
And every element just was insane. It was just a lot of fun.
Okay, here's a great question.
Great question. Love it.
Arie Force One
Yep.
or Fury?
Ooh, that's a very good
Because
question.
those are totally like, apples and oranges, right?
And that's the other ride you've probably ridden 25 times in a day, right?
Not 25. I think my most is probably 12 with you probably in a day.
That was 13. Our lucky 13.
Yeah.
That's a hard one, huh?
That is very hard. I don't know. I love Fury. Fury's so re-rideable. Though this thing is too.
I mean, we rode it for 11 hours, so, I mean.
And I never once got nauseous. Like, there's a few times I got a headache, so I was like, give me a water. But
I think you got more sunburned than you did.
did I get some sun, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your neck's right now.
My wife's going to kill me.
Well,
Um,
sorry, Kate. I tried to take care of them.
You never offered me sunblock.
I don't care that much. So.
Back to the
Care enough to
question.
apologize after the fact.
I don't know. Like, Fury's really good, and you have the height, the speed, but you don't have the inversions. I don't know if I'm ready to shake up my top 5 that much. But I definitely I like it better than Maverick,
Okay.
and I like it better than Steel Vengeance. I'll say that.
How about versus single rails then?
See, I have not done a single rail since 2017. Whenever Wonder Woman opened up Fiesta, I rode it.
That's the last one you've done?
I did Jersey Devil.
You did Jersey Devil recently.
It was fun. It didn't really.
Okay.
It's okay. It's good. It's not my top 20 or.
You don't have the
30.
love for the single rails like I do. So.
I think I would like Wonder Woman better at Magic Mountain. But I'm excited to ride Wonder Woman again at Fiesta in 2 months.
Nice.
But yeah, overall, definitely. I don't know. That's a very good question. I don't know. Can I sleep on that?
There's a couple questions here about Hurricane and the Kitty ride. What's your thoughts on Hurricane?
Screw those rides. The kiddie ride. We were waiting in line for it, and there's 3 gentlemen on it, I believe, and the poor attendant couldn't get the ride to align proper, to brake properly, to make the train stop in the right position. So they had to send him out around like 10 different times. And so we went over and rode the Hurricane. By the time we got off the Hurricane, we went back to the kiddie coaster and got that. The Hurricane's sketchy. We had a lot of weight on that train. I think all six people, and probably the most weight that train has had all day, maybe all season. So I was a little sketched on that, but it was fun.
You were able to stop it for us.
We got one ride on that, and then one ride on the kiddie coaster. We did the go-karts, and then we did the scream and swing.
I was thinking I'm going to feel that one ride on the Hurricane more than I'm going to feel that 25 rides on Arie
the
Force
banking
tomorrow.
on that is not gracious at all. Horrible. But yeah, I don't know. Arie Force One, Fury. I'm in the buzz right now of Arie Force Ones. I'm going to choose that now. But when I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I really liked Arie Force One. Because it has everything I love. Inversions, airtime, ejector, transitions. I'm going to go Arie Force One. I love that stall. I just had fun.
So you're going Arie Force One over Fury?
I think so.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. So
You? You're more of an airtime and a B&M.
yeah, but Fury's not an airtime
That's
machine, so for me it's not the
His
same.
favorite
as
part
you.
of Fury is the end.
Well, I like when you get off of it and you walk over to Intimidator. So I would say I probably like Arie Force more than I do Fury. Yeah.
It's close.
They're both great rides though, right? So
I mean, Fury's drop is Fury's drop.
yeah,
But
the
then-
drop's great. So
yeah, the
But then-
drop.
and I love the end where it's nice like a float machine. I just
Yeah.
wish there was more of that personally. So
Yeah.
I don't care about high speed turns, but that's all
What
this
about
guy
you?
likes. So
Man, probably Arie Force One.
Yeah.
But I mean, Fury's drop to me is everything. I mean,
Yeah.
it flies around the rest of it. But I think I like everything after the drops. I like Arie Force more.
Yeah, it's close.
if they could put the Fury drop
Ooh.
on the
We need
front
an
end of
RMC
Arie.
Giga. Now I want you guys to tell me what park do you think we can get an RMC Giga at? Wouldn't that be great? Like
That'd be
RMC
good.
hybrid or.
So here's a
ILOX?
good question.
Yeah.
Do you think that this might be the best coaster of 2023? I'm assuming a new
It's a
2023
very, very
coasters.
good question. In America, very much so. International, I think Tatatis over at Park Asterix looks phenomenal, and the new Batman ride at Warner Brothers or Park Warner Madrid looks great. Wicked Cyclone could. I think that's going to be more like a Gwazi for me, where you have more of a diagonal layout. The layout's all over the place, and I like that. Where there's no real straight track. So I'm really intrigued by that. But it's Hershey, so I don't know if they'll run it the way Fun Spot does. So that worries
You mean
me.
like they don't care if they break it?
Pretty much. But no, it's great. The Arie Force One did not break down at all. It broke down
No,
once.
that's not true. It broke down once in front of
I
us.
said once. I said
Oh.
once, yes. It
And
went
they
on
had to
for
run
like
one train
10
without
minutes. That was
without
10
seat two.
minutes.
That
or
was
row
actually
two.
a kind of nice reprieve from the marathon we were on.
Yeah, it was great. 10 minutes. It was great.
On our last ride, we thought that it was going to break down because they were getting a yellow alert on seat 17.
They were.
But they fully put it up and reset it, and it went green. So, there's a question from Alan Smith. Do the train cars have handles
Yes.
to hold on to like lightning rod?
Yes. The hands are down over, on the sides. And then the Arie Force One has 5 cars instead of the typical 6 that most RMCs offer. I think Lightning Rod had 6 cars too. I'm not entirely sure, but it
It seems a lot shorter though.
Yeah, it's definitely noticeable, but it's a good thing. And that's why I like it more in the front better than the back, I think.
Got a super chat. Smoking Thrills, thank you for it. He says
Thank
that
you.
the Zero G stall is the best.
I agree to that.
It's his top 2023, definitely.
Yeah. That Zero G, I mean, I'm telling you, maybe I like it better than Goliaths at Great America, and here's why. I love looking out and seeing the road next to you. Because you're looking over to your right or left, and you look down and see these cars. They're driving by, and just the interaction that you get with that is so unique. Though I like Pantheon stall. Pantheon stall is really good. I need more rides on Pantheon. But as far as RMC stalls, yes. I love that. And I love Iron Gwazi stall too. But this is so much longer and sustained that
Yes.
it's really good.
How do you think that the ride will run in the, stereotypical Georgia heat of the summer?
Yeah, if this is the review.
Especially during night rides.
It's March 31st. And it was like a high of like 73 today, maybe. So it's going to be hauling.
Yeah.
Like, I'm seriously thinking about coming down a day trip. Well, I can't get a hotel at night, but do something that I want to ride. We have season passes now, so
Yeah.
I want to ride this thing when it's 98, 99 degrees, not be here during the day, but come at like 7 o'clock and get 3 hours in.
Yeah, like 85-degree night
Because,
ride.
oh my God, this thing, I mean, that outward bake turn, oh my gosh, it's so good.
How about, do you project that Fun Spot Atlanta will expand to add more coasters in the next 3 years?
I don't know about 3 years, but I know Fun Spot Atlanta has a ton of room to work with. And when we're riding the Scream and Swing, we could look to your left behind the arcade there, and there is some minor land clearing. I don't think it's for a coaster yet. But according to what I've heard from people talk, that John Arie already has plans, or potentially like pretty much solidified what he wants to get next.
Nice.
So it's definitely in the works. The guy knows what he's doing, and Fun Spot America, Atlanta, Orlando, and Kissimmee, they're in good hands. I'm excited.
Here's a really hard-hitting
Oh
question.
jeez,
Do you think that Arie Force One is better than Cedar Point's new Wild Mouse? I mean, you haven't ridden on it, so can you make an argument?
No, I do not. Here's why.
Okay.
The Wild Mouse has cheese on it, and I love cheese, and Arie Force One doesn't. Plus, you can't beat the lake views.
While you're
And you spin. You love your spinning coasters.
I love my spins.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Arie Force One. Though I will say, if the pavilion offers great food, which I think it's going to, I'll take that and the Wild Mouse over Arie Force One. I'm just joking.
People want to know what else you rode there. Did you do the go-karts?
We did the go-kart, we did the Samsung track, it was really fun.
Flat rides?
The Scream and Swing, and then we did...
It's like a mini screaming swing.
It's
micro.
good though, it's good. We did both other coasters once. Then Arie Force One. Hung out with a lot of fans. We were able to walk kind of underneath Arie Force One, which is great. And then...
You did a handful of rides with fans, too.
Yeah, I rode a bunch with fans.
Yeah.
That was great. That was really cool.
A lot of kids recognize. I mean, almost everybody that was under 18 instantly knew who you were.
A lot of people over 18 do.
I'm saying that everybody under 18, I think, ran up to
I
you.
guess I'm not recognizable. I don't know.
Yeah, you're the old dude that talks
I
about
know.
coasters.
Yeah,
So.
I try.
Yeah.
Then they hear my voice and they know my age. Wait, you're 39? I thought you were like 18.
How many times, when the train was pulling out, did someone scream, "Are you?"
A lot of
It was kind of funny.
But it was great. We had a lot of there's a lot of coaster influencers there, YouTube creators, social media content creators from all the coaster communities. So it's great seeing everyone come out and enjoy the ride and just partake in this. And it was really probably one of the most special coaster days I've had. And it was a lot of fun just to be able to ride this thing so much. I met a lot of long-term fans of the channel, like Katie's Coasters. That was great. And there's a lot of other ones, which was great. And we got on a couple vlogs and everything else. And then there was one, I got to find the account here that, what's it called? 'Cause I'm tired, I can't think. What is that? Hold on here. I don't even know, I can't even.
All right, well, let's keep it moving then. I've got I got another good question here for you.
Next question.
Do you think it is better than Lightning Rod?
Yes. Before the launch. The launch modification on Lightning Rod. Did you ever ride that before they slowed it down?
No, I was greeted by the sign they had outside of it in 2020.
Oh, yes. You've been on it. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, Lightning Rod, if you guys don't know.
It was amazing.
It was really good. It launched fast up that hill. And you got
really
good
airtime over the top
those
two. Well. Yeah.
The two hills. I call it the Dolly Parton hills. And then you go down the first drop. It's great.
Got with them.
So, it was great. It's late. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, Lightning Rod's really, really good. But this is better without the launch slowed down on Lightning Rod.
So what was the longest you waited for one of your 26 rides?
Oh, what, 15 minutes? Might be the first ride of the day.
Yeah, I think the first was the
outside
longest.
the station.
Yeah.
It was nothing bad. I mean, they were running 2 trains. So, will they run 2 trains most days? Probably not. Maybe on busy weekends, because they probably don't need it. But overall, it was solid. We got a lot of good rides in.
And they have 2 trains.
They do.
They do not have a third.
No. 2 trains. All right, a few more questions.
Just a comment from Patrick Ryan.
Hey, Patrick, what's up, my friend?
Seems strange that a small park builds a top coaster and Cedar Point builds a Wild Mouse.
Well, I think it goes down to what Cedar Point needs at the moment, too. So I get why they did that. And remember, we're getting Dragster revamped next year, Patrick. So, but yeah, it's definitely odd that Fun Spot Atlanta has built a $12 or $13 million coaster. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely bizarre. So, but I'm not complaining.
And Frontier City got that new trash can.
That's true.
That was very unexpected that they were going to get funded for a trash can this year.
It's just crazy why they could build this masterpiece for $13 million. Why can't I would take 2 Arie Force Ones over 1 Orion.
Would you take 2 Orions over 1 Arie Force One?
No. I mean, it's $30 million for Orion. Yeah. You can split that out.
You can almost get 3.
So combined, it'd be like 590 feet.
I'm just using Orion as a reference point. I'll say any $25-30 million coaster for the most part.
All right. Are you a believer that Six Flags Over Georgia will be more aggressive in their future investment and expansion because of Fun Spot Atlanta?
No, because they don't have me working for them and they're planning the design. department. I don't know. I mean, they should, but they definitely should. But will they? It's Six Flags we're talking about. They don't even know what the direction of the company is 1 year from now. It seems like everything's so up in the air, and it's like 1 year it's this, 1 year it's that. So they should, because this is going to draw some people. And we went to dinner, and we told the waitress, who's a coaster enthusiast, that this is the best coaster in Georgia. But she said, better than Six Flags? Yes. The hotel clerk downstairs. If you like Six Flags, you need to go right to Fun Spot. They open up and do it. Yes, it is. It's awesome. So the hype is there. Word's going to get out. And it's the best billboard ever. You're driving down this road, see this ginormous coaster.
A lot of people got your Dolly Parton joke and are laughing in the comments here. So
I can't make it up though.
here's a question: are you going to be at Cedar Point for Ohio State Day? I'm afraid I don't know what day.
I don't know what day that is. We're going on May 6th, opening day.
Opening day and second day.
Second day for I'll be there for like an hour or two. I have a 10.5-hour drive home that day, so go for a couple hours.
Maybe meet up or something like that for anybody that's interested in meeting.
We'll be at Dragster right when the rope drops. Head right to Dragster to get footage, go live. Check that out. Very, very excited to see what they're doing to it.
Got an off-topic question, but great.
Off-topic.
Anybody know anything about the I-305 RN? I'm guessing that needs a rename.
No, never heard of that.
You know anything about it?
No,
Any rumors?
as far as I know,
I know it's down.
The Intimidator names are still at Carowinds and King's Dominion for now in the foreseeable future.
I think with how they license it.
I don't know how many years they signed the contract for, if they re-upped it or not. So for now, yes, who knows what happens in a few years. But I've not heard any rumors as of late to a name change.
Are you going to CoasterCon?
No.
Okay.
I just don't have time, and I just haven't had a chance to really sit down and figure out these big coaster events. My focus right now is getting out, meeting people, and getting on some coasters around my wife's schedule for work and when new rides are opening and my family schedule. So that's the priority.
So we got almost 100 on right now, and when you were talking about it, it was only like 25. A bunch of people, or at least several, keep asking questions about if you think it's better than Steel Vengeance. You want to give a sum up about its comparison to Steel Vengeance and Lightning Rod?
Yeah, I definitely feel as if Arie Force One is, from what I've written, and the only American RMC non-single world that I'm missing is, what's it called, Joker at Discovery Kingdom. So for me, I rank it over Vengeance because of a few things. One, the stall, the 0G rolls are better than any version on Vengeance. And then I really love, I think the outward bank is better than Vengeance. I love Vengeance outward banks, but I like Iron Gwazi's outward banks better than Vengeance, but I like these better than Vengeance. So if I'm ranking my outward bank RMC coasters, I'm going to go Vengeance, Arie Force One, and then
Currently
Vengeance. Did I say that right? I'm sorry, Gwazi. I knew I messed up. Gwazi, Arie Force One, Vengeance.
Okay. Sorry, I was fact checking something here.
That's fine.
Someone pointed out, I believe it was Smoking Thrills, that the actual cost was $18 million for Arie Force One, not 13.
It was 18.
It's $18 million. I did confirm it. That at least it's being reported in multiple places that it's $18 million.
Oh my gosh. Well, I stand corrected. Thank you very much for pointing that out. 18. Yeah, you guys have to go support this place because they blessed us all with amazing.
Yeah, in the last 20 minutes, it just cost them $5 million more extra bucks. So
if we're talking about a new ride there, we should have to pay for this one first.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going over Georgia, you cannot not hit up this place. You really can't.
So not better than Gwazi for those who are asking. Is it better than Gwazi? Because he wasn't very specific about that. Not better than Gwazi.
Not better than Gwazi, but better than Steel Vengeance if you ride it in the evening on a warm day. That's my loophole there. Like if you go there first thing in the morning and want to do Six Flags over Georgia later, then it's not going to be the same. I would do Six Flags over Georgia before, because after all, you're probably going to have a Six Flags day. And around 4 o'clock.
So once you have a Six Flags day,
let's go to Fun Spot. Let's grab some dinner to go to Fun Spot and head up Arie Force One.
Here's a good one. This is right in your zone, Mr. Intimate Man. Better than Velocicoaster?
No.
No? Okay.
For me, it's the theme of it,
Better than Velocicoaster for me. So.
and everything else with Velocicoaster. It's still my number 2.
$18 million. That's almost as expensive as a burger at Six Flags.
I mean, 18 million, that's crazy. I can't get over that. Whew.
Well, while you're not getting over that, what do you think will be better? Arie Force One or Wildcats Revenge? If you had to guess. Because you have high expectations and high hopes for Wildcat.
Before today, I thought Arie Force One was going to be one of the better RMCs because it's fun spot. They want to make it. They want to make a big impact in the coaster community and just coaster enthusiasts that aren't even like us. Really, it's like roller coasters. And I figured that they would make sure that this Arie Force One's running much better than most RMCs. Maybe they change out the wheels or however they want to do it. And I always thought they would be running better. So I'm going to stick to that even after riding it. I love Wildcats Revenge. And I love the layout so far, but we really haven't gotten that good of a POV of it. I know like Amusement Insider created a really good mock-up of it, but as of right now, Arie Force One takes the cake for me. But we'll see. I definitely want to go back and ride Wildcats Revenge later this year.
Do you think that Arie Force One has one of the most intense inversions of any RMC?
100%.
Yes.
That 0G roll, we all agree. After that Maverick turn, that Maverick hill, then the airtime hill, then right to the 0G.
That or compared to the death roll though.
I like Death Roll better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Iron Guazi's might be more intense.
No, I mean, there was a question: the most intense or one of the most? I think it's one of the most.
It says the most intense.
Then
Okay.
I would go Iron Gwazi,
And then
the
this.
death turn, or the
Yeah.
barrel with down drop, whatever the hell it's
that's-
called.
Yeah.
That thing,
The death roll.
It's just, it's so cool. It's so good.
Yeah.
But the 0G roll on this is like, I mean, it's so close. It's like, it's so good.
You said in a past video that your new reimagined or imagined Dragster will automatically be in your top 10. Is that still the case after this ride?
Yes.
Okay.
The height, the speed. I've been riding Dragster for 20 years now. I was there 2003. So like, I've always loved the 17 seconds of adrenaline. There's no other ride out there that provides that besides Kingda Ka. But Kingda Ka, you have the overhead restraints. It's just not the same. You go over the top, you're looking at a parking lot. Cedar Point, you're looking at rides in the lake and everything else. It's great. So,
Is the roll over the arcade like the Mosasaurus roll?
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
100%. It's so good. Like,
That's literally how you described it multiple
yeah,
times.
it's really, and the head choppers. I mean, every ride I'm like this, and I knew obviously the clearance is there, but like it just goes so fast, and and if you like head choppers, the Raven turn is so good because you like pop out to your right, and then it tucks you this way, and you're within all the support structure. The visuals are amazing.
So now that you've hit this, what's your next bucket coaster on your list? You got a couple big ones in your bucket list.
I need X2. I don't have X2.
Oh.
I need X2. I need Ghost Rider. I need New Texas Giant. We'll get Diabolical's Dive come June.
Oh yeah.
I really want to get Cannonball. Is that Lagoon?
Cannibal.
Cannibal Lagoon.
What?
And then
And the new one at Lagoon when it opens, but I don't
Yeah.
think it's opening until next year.
Wildcats Revenge.
Wildcats
That's
Revenge.
definitely up there as far as that goes. I mean, there's really no other coaster that's
Single rails.
Yeah, Wonder Woman at Magic Mountain.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks good. And Texas Stingray, which we'll get that in June. So, I mean, there's a few.
Mm-hmm.
That's America. I need to venture out soon.
Why do you not have X2 or Ghost Rider? Because you got screwed?
No, I was with a good buddy of mine, and he just didn't feel 100% right that day. And he didn't want to ride X2, which I can't blame him because his head was upset. And I was, honestly, I'll be completely frank, I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
Like, that ride's unlike anything I've ever. I needed a support person next to me
no,
to ride that. And this was 2012. I was there 2 days before like the COVID shutdown. We drove to Vegas the next day to fly out, and that's when like they canceled the NBA season. I'm like, oh my god, get me home or the games, and so that was like the last coaster I rode was the ones at Magic Mountain till Orion. A few months later when they opened up. Wow, it's crazy. It was 3 years ago already.
Yeah. Eric, I'm gonna report you for putting in here that Ghost Rider is overrated. So just be on the lookout for the YouTube police. So it's not overrated. It's, if anything, it's underrated.
But did Eric ride it before GCI or after?
Tell us in the comments, Eric. When did you ride it, and why is it overrated?
I can't believe that kid didn't ride today. I tried so hard to get that kid. There's a kid at the park, and if you saw or not in the other live, he was 12 years old. And he had a roller coaster shirt on, like he doesn't like ride, which is fine.
And his 8-year-old sister
His 8-year-old sister's all over the place. His mom's like loving it, and I tried to get him to ride. I was like, ride with me? No, okay. And then we offered. Finally, I saw him again later in the day. I'm like, look, I will buy you anything in my merch store if you ride this ride with me. Anything. You point to it, I'll buy it. He almost, you could tell, he's like, ooh, and then he didn't. And then we got on the live stream when we were in the line for the front row. And we saw him waiting at the exit, sitting down waiting. And I'm like, dude, look, I'll give you $20. Or you said 20, or did I?
$20 cash.
$20 cash.
I should have pulled it on I should have pulled it out of my pocket and showed it.
You need proof.
That might have done.
You ruined that kid's night.
I'm sorry. His life is now over. So.
And then I went to, I looked at his sister. I'm like, I will buy her a shirt if you ride it. And he didn't. I feel like I didn't do a good job tonight.
83 angle, 64 miles per hour.
It feels steeper than 83.
It does.
I first rode it, I'm like, wow, this is like a 90.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find out the price. Did anybody notice the price? A couple people asked about what the price for a single ride would be.
I think it's like $12.
I thought I saw 10 something.
10, it's up there.
Either 10 or 12. That seems.
But you can't ride. Come on, guys, you can't ride it just once. Like it's every. Like you can't ride the coaster the first time, like only once, and really kind of get a feel.
It is $35 for an all-day pass.
It's so worth it though.
Yeah, I mean you get three rides on it, and you're gonna pay that same difference. Yeah. I'd definitely do that. I don't see a single ride price on their website.
And the line is not gonna. What's $10 up there?
That's the gift card.
And the ride itself, you're gonna get there's not a long line, so you can get 3 rides in an hour, easy. So. About 80 people still. Okay. So staying out for 3 hours tonight. Now we're going over Georgia tomorrow.
Okay, here. I think
we go up to King. Matt and I are taking my son Mason up to Kingston Dominion on Monday. We'll be at Carroll Sunday late afternoon for a bit. But then,
$7 for Hurricane. How does that compare to whatever you'd have to pay for?
$7 for that piece of crap. And then we'll do Busch Gardens on Tuesday.
I wouldn't even write it again if they gave me $7.
No, I'm done. I'm done. That was good. All right, question, moderator. Is there any other questions?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions.
Okay.
I'm really focused on this here. They don't have the price on their website for how much Arie Force One costs.
They didn't have any signage, I don't think.
Yeah, nothing. Okay, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Everything else are $7 a ride, so I'm betting it's more. Wait times were great.
10 to 15 minutes.
A lot of people are coming in late here and asking repeat questions. So
glad to have you guys. Thank you for coming, whether it's late or not. Appreciate it.
If we can't get your question, rewatch the beginning of this live stream. You will find a lot of your answers. Do you think Dragster will keep the lap bars with all the whip and snap from the spike? This assumes obviously the spike. Or do you think it'll be a glorified King to Ka with the over-shoulder restraints, which are not
I think Intamin will go with the newer trains like Pantheon for it.
Yeah, Pantheon ones?
Yeah.
Those are okay.
And it's wonderful. They're great trains. Like Velocicoaster, it's a lap bar. That's all it is. It pulls down over you, but it's just a lap bar. So it won't be the T-bar, but then again, like, will that really affect, like, I love Velocicoaster trains, and so I think it's not an issue.
A couple people are telling you, let's go.
Let's go to what?
Let's go.
Let's go where?
Brandon.
Oh, Matt, let's go.
Smoke and Thrills will also be at Over Georgia tomorrow.
Sweet, you better say
Twisted
hi.
with y'all. Yeah, come say howdy.
We'll be there. We got screen break from 8 to 11 tomorrow night. Night rides on Goliath. Can't wait.
What do you think is going to take Vortex's old place at Kings Island?
What they should do is
An Arie Force One
an
club?
Arie Force One club. You beat me to it. No, I definitely think Kings Island could use a modern multi-launch coaster. I think that would be a really good fit. I could also see. I would love to see an RMC hybrid that kind of goes through the woods a little bit. Like that would be really cool. You have still Vengeance up there, so I don't think they'll do that.
Yeah.
But then again, both parks have BM inverts. You know.
True.
So
Favorite over Georgia coaster?
Goliath.
Favorite over Georgia?
Goliath, hands down.
Goliath.
It's great. It really, really is great.
RMC's are number 2. Which isn't even the best RMC anyway.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Blue Hawk's surprisingly good.
Yeah, Vekoma.
Yeah, but it's good though. The new trains are much better.
It's okay.
I like Great American Scream Machine.
It's an MK1200 model though. I don't know, it's just not going to be.
Yeah. And I don't like care for flying coasters, so.
I'm hoping to get my first Daredevil dive.
Yes,
Wow.
I need to get Daredevil Dive. I only have one ride on it. It's opening
It's
year.
number 3.
There?
Yeah.
You like Scorcher?
Yeah.
It's okay. You'll ride it once though, right?
Oh, I'll ride it 10 times. No.
10 times.
I mean, if we're going to ride it 10 times, I'll ride it 10
I'll ride it
times.
10 times. So I mean, I don't like it that much.
All right. Got a lot of questions popping up now here.
I'm so tired.
Do you think Cedar Point will put in another Woody in the next 5 to 10 years?
I mean, it all
A
depends.
modern Woody, obviously.
It all depends if Cedar Fair wants to go that route. They find value. Right now, Cedar Fair is not investing in wooden coasters. Is it there no value? Are they not seeing the return on investment? Because Mystic Timbers is phenomenal. And I love Mystic, so I could see them potentially doing it. I would totally be okay with it. I would love to have like a good, modern wooden coaster at Cedar Point. But, I mean, will they? I think they'll do Dragster 2024. I think the next coaster will come in 2026 or 2027. Whether that's a Mach Extreme Spinner, a Gerstlauer Major Infinity Coaster, or something from Vekoma, like a tilt coaster. I mean, there's a lot of different things they could do. Or a flying coaster from Vekoma, like, I don't know.
You have any feedback on Mindbender with the new trains?
I've not been on it yet, so I'm very interested in how much I'm going to hate the ride now. Or at least dislike the ride. I loved Mindbender before. It was my second at the park. I liked it better than Twisted Cyclone.
I love Schwarzkopf's.
I did too. I know you're.
And that ride was ruined.
I know.
Ruined by the new
weird
trains.
Ugh.
It's barely rideable. Only because I know what it was like before.
I'm excited to ride it just to see how bad it is. Let's just say that. I'm excited. I've never been on a St. Perla Endeavor too.
Oh, all right.
I'm excited to ride that.
We got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the Giga Discovery, so I'm really stoked to do that. And the swings. Swings freak me out. I hate it. My palms get all sweaty. We ride that? The Starflyer?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a little cool.
A lot of people loving the fact you said you'll be on for 10 minutes and now you're blasting that.
Of course. There's my bed right there. I just wanted to go to bed. Been up since 5:30 this morning.
The people want what the people want.
That's okay. I'm a machine. Let's go.
If Hades 360 got retracked, it would be top 5 wooden coaster in America. Agree or disagree?
That's a tough question. I only have one ride on it. And
Did we go on it twice?
No. I think you did.
No, we did front and back.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That thing that brainwashed me. I was so.
I mean, it bobbled your brain.
Yeah, I didn't even think. All I could do was drink root beer afterwards.
Yeah.
I think that layout's so unique, and that whole ride itself is just so bizarre. How it was under the parking lot. If they could retrack it and maybe add some like Titan track to it, would be kind of cool. Or even like RMC it, and that would be just insane.
They won't spend the money to RMC. They won't spend the money to maintain it, so I don't think you're going to get anything like that. Thoughts on Over Georgia's Batman? Is it good?
Best one.
Best one?
Do you agree?
my opinion, is the best one, and it's not even close either. Like
I love that.
it's 10% better
It's
than
so
the
good.
next best Batman.
It's so I really.
What's the second best Batman? What's the number 2?
See, I haven't really been on. I like the originals, really good at Great America. I also like Great Adventures, kind of. I mean, they're all pretty much the same, but like I wrote Over Texas is when like 2010 it was really vibration. I don't really care for it.
Seems like it runs a little slower than some of the rest.
Yeah.
Magic Mountains or Great Adventures, I think, which is the original.
Yeah.
I think is the number 2.
Great Americas.
Great Americas. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The one in yellow.
I like Great White at SeaWorld. I remember really enjoying that. And I like.
I mean, it wasn't
Fiesta.
bad, but it just looks rough.
Yeah.
So I don't like that they have rust on it. It just makes me feel like it's not maintained very well.
Are you scared?
Not really, but it just I don't know. It just doesn't feel good. It's the wrong color scheme too. A lot of people asking questions about the Voyage for some weird reason. So, you have any comments about the Voyage?
I need to get a night ride on Voyage.
Okay.
I have to plan another trip with Matt. The wife cleared me to go out for a few days in the end of July. So I have to figure out what we want to do, where he's going to be, and to do whether Holiday World or Hershey Park. After riding Arie Force One so many times, I'm thinking maybe do Hershey just to get on Wildcats Revenge. Because I'll be there with my wife and kids, which is great in June. I don't know if it'll be open, and then I'm dad duty, so I don't have time to like re-ride stuff.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get more rides in on it just to see.
So, how much longer do you think Nighthawk will be around?
Too long.
You think it's here for the long haul?
I mean,
they put new investment into it.
they did. Now they're doing the same thing that they did with Nighthawk last year to Vortex. So Vortex and Nighthawk will be around for a while.
And don't forget Hurley.
And Hurler is not getting RMC, guys. I hate to break it to you, but it's the 5th most popular ride in the park.
And what's
No
Nighthawk?
reason
Is
for it.
Nighthawk the 4th?
I don't know, but
I think Nighthawk's more popular.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
People in the Carolinas are not that smart. I'm from Ohio, so I don't get it. No, but Carolina's next coaster will not go where Vortex or Nighthawk is. That's confirmed.
What do you think SeaWorld is getting for 2024?
Which one, Orlando?
I
think so because they have the construction. Well, for what I'm hearing, obviously it's like the Intamin motorbike coaster, whatever you know.
Yeah, they say straddle coaster.
Straddle coaster,
Is that the
yeah,
straddle
whatever they
coaster?
call it. Yeah. But the first rumor was us going underneath Kraken and Mako over the water, which is kind of cool. But I just didn't know how they'd actually get the layout there. Because there's so many supports to go through with Kraken there, because you have the cover roll on the first drop. So I feel like it would definitely, now they expanded the area where I've heard now it's going to go over where, like basically on the grassy area where the Sea Lion Stadium is.
Okay.
And a few other areas in that direction. So
Oh, is that why that's all closed off there?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
I'm intrigued by it. I definitely think it's something SeaWorld needs as a family coaster. But I think it's going to be a much larger family coaster than we all envisioned. So I'm definitely excited about that. And Pipeline. I'm a little more excited about Pipeline after watching the test runs. I'm like, oh, this thing looks pretty good now. I'm a little more curious about it.
I'm glad you got positive on
Whatever.
that one. I like that.
I don't like
I
it.
think, yeah. Well, the feeling is not mutual, my friend. Michigan Adventure, next coaster edition. When and what? That was a compliment if you didn't realize.
Trash Can the Ride 2025. No, I mean, with Michigan Adventure, it's so different because that park is a well-oiled machine. And you're in the middle of nowhere. There's not many major cities nearby. And obviously, it's one of the most profitable parks for the chain, as far as like revenue per guest. And is there a need to expand? I mean, sure, but is it really going to bring the value and return on investment back for Cedar Fair? I don't know that. Now, the good news is I don't think we'll go 20 more years without a coaster. So I think they'll get something, but I think hopefully by 2030. We Cedar Fair is starting to invest more in
Chance
smaller
Hyper
parks.
GTX? Any chance?
Fantastic addition. That'd be amazing. Or
Would they spend the money on it though?
Or a Premier Skyrocket 2.
No.
Or an Arie Force One for
The Air Force One clown. All right. How about any comments on Hershey Park's ops?
Well, from what I was there in 2021, they're okay. They're never that great. Some crews are better than others. It's like some workers are harder than workers than others. But as a former ride op, it's not my favorite park to visit for ops. Let's just say that.
You would think that the tightest crew would be on Candemonium, their newest ride, their biggest ride.
Horrible.
It's horrible.
Absolutely horrible.
Absolutely horrible.
Maybe most.
Sorry, no offense to if there's any crew members watching.
Yeah,
every time I go on, so
I watched Mason. I was in a stroller, and I had Kate go on the ride. I knew she'd like it, and she went on it. And I'm like, where the hell she go? She leave us? We should go for like 20 minutes. I knew the line wasn't long, but yeah, the operations are horrible.
Yeah, they stack on those brakes forever. You know,
I wish every park had a Fury level crew.
Yeah, Fury crew's great.
Oh, lots of great questions.
All right, a few more questions because I got to get some sleep, and you have to get work done tonight, Matt.
And I think I have to go take out Alex too before I get my work started. So
Take him out to what? Dinner?
he wants something down the street, so something I got to drive him to.
He can't drive.
He can't drive back.
Oh.
Cedar Point. How about their ops?
Yeah, they're good. I mean, I think growing up at Cedar Point, the ops were a little bit better back in the day, but they're still good. I think Kings Island has better ops than Cedar Point does.
Kings Island?
Kings Island's a different breed, I'm telling you. It was great when I worked at
They
Kings
were
Island.
high in the south?
I don't know why it's better, but they're just really good. And they're good when I worked there.
Mm.
And I think that molded me to be the hard worker that I was when I went on to Six Flags and SeaWorld and Universal and stuff. But yeah, Kings Island's ops are really good.
Absolutely.
Really good. Over Georgia.
Over Georgia tomorrow.
Sometimes are okay. Sometimes are not okay.
Will you be doing a review of the new Wild Mouse at Cedar Point?
Sure.
It's opening it's gonna be open for open day, right?
As we know now.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe it'll be part of the vlog. I don't think I'm gonna dedicate a whole.
You gonna write it 27 times?
No, once.
And I can do a 25-minute full detailed review, technical analysis.
I'm good.
We can talk about how many block zones it has.
I'm very good. I'll leave that for El Toro Ryan. He can cover that stuff. I don't. I just like my predictions and my recommendations and going out and making fun videos that I like.
What do you think they're going to be doing with the action theater area and the Dino Alive area?
At what park?
I would think that's Carowinds.
Because you have Dinos Alive at King's Dominion. They have Action Theater.
Oh.
Kings Island is to remove their Dinos Alive for Orion. So Carowinds, I would love to see like a flat ride, like a Discovery or a Scream and Swing, right up there by the restrooms and Afterburn, and then in Camp Snoopy have like the antique cars take out the back half of that area. That would be good. Or maybe that area could be used for the next coaster because if Carowinds gets a water ride next year in the place of Rip Roaring Rapids, that'll be. There's a lot of moving pieces for Carowinds. I'm very curious to see how it plays out the next few years.
So I can't confirm if this is true or not. Steve Crew, it's being claimed, hit over 1 million riders last season. What do you think?
Which one? Still
Vengeance.
Wow, good for them. Probably. They're a great crew. I mean, that's the marquee ride.
Yeah, and it's also just like continuously packed for the whole season. So, do you think that's possible to do 1 million?
Yeah, I can definitely see.
What do you think Fury does in a season or in a year now?
I mean, this should probably be close, if not
to that too.
Higher,
okay.
I would imagine.
If it was
one, I mean, yeah.
Then I guess I would think so.
Yeah. There's a lot of trains. I mean, Velocicoaster hit like 2 million in 1 year of craziness. Like it's ridiculous.
But that's also just like constantly. The second it's open, it's just
every 40 seconds. It's just insane.
Yeah.
That crew is legit. Peter, what's up? You're great. Peter from Velocicoaster. Peter from Fury too. Same guy.
This is the Peter.
He works on Fury, right? Yeah. The world's best giga. And then he goes down and works for a college internship, and he goes down to Universal, works at Velocicoaster. Mm. He's the only person in the world to operate both.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Impressive.
Where do you think Carowinds will fit in Gold Striker?
Tear down the Palladium, right there. I've already did the measurements and the video I did.
Fits?
It would fit perfectly.
Yeah.
But do you think Gold Striker will get relocated? Do you think Cedar Fair will spend the money on doing that? Does it make sense?
I think that it's less expensive to relocate it than it would be for the gains that they would get out of it than scrapping it.
Yeah.
So I think it's possibly on the table. It's a good enough ride. It's new enough. Wood's expensive.
It's a big wood coaster, though.
It's a lot to move it, though, but you're not going to make that much scrapping it, though, for just its wood value and steel.
Yeah, and there's some parks where that would immediately be their best ride.
I would love it at Carowinds.
I would think it'd be a better candidate to sell, honestly, than to move, though.
It would it be for Carowinds if let me see if Gold Striker was at Carowinds. Where would it rank at Carowinds for you?
Ooh.
You've been on Gold Striker.
I've been on a
You
lot,
Gold
too.
Striker?
Yes,
So I'm not. So I'm out.
I mean, you're practically local, so
Yeah.
where would it rank in Carowinds then?
probably third after Copperhead.
You think so?
Very Copperhead. Yeah.
I would honestly say, I would think, I mean, if it ran as good as it does this last season, I would say it's better than Copperhead.
You have a point. It does fly.
Yeah.
Like I think just
Okay,
it never
so-
stops.
Yeah.
So for you, it'd be Fury, Intimidator, Gold Striker, Copperhead.
We'll go with that. On your street.
I hate this guy. All right, a couple more questions. I got to get to bed. Been saying that for the last 30 minutes.
Don't know when you rode Jersey Devil, but I will say it runs a lot better than it did when it first opened.
Yeah, I rode it last April. So it was the year after it opened. It was good. I liked it a lot. It's my second favorite at Great Adventure.
Oh my goodness, Alan Trotter saying Gold Striker will be number 2 at Carowinds after Intimidator.
Alan's good. You'll meet him on... Alan, are you still going to Carowinds Sunday? Because you got to meet Matt. If you're going to. I don't know if your wife will let you.
So he's saying Intimidator, Gold Striker at Carowinds. I can't believe it. Wow, what a statement. What a bold statement.
Is he going? Did he respond? Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, look out for us. We'll meet up.
How about the Villain at Geauga Lake?
Oh, don't get me... I love the Villain. God, that was such a good ride.
Well, it got scrapped.
I know. It was so good. I'm so mad at that.
Yeah.
That
I'm
was-
surprised they couldn't sell that.
That was a phenomenal coaster.
Yeah.
That was our question at dinner today was like, what's one ride you can re-ride again? I said Volcano. Villain at night was...
Might have been better.
It was really good.
Cool. Copperhead honestly might be the best ride at Carowinds. Yes, I know Fury exists.
That's
You
okay.
know that Intimidator exists, though, is the other question that needs to be answered.
Because I always say Copperhead, I might get some slack for this, Copperhead is the most fun ride at Carowinds. Notice the word fun.
I do agree.
You
It's a
have
fun ride.
airtime,
Yep.
you have the theming, you have the launches, everything. The JoJo roll. I get off of that just laughing. And Fury is the best, but Copperhead, in my opinion, is the most fun ride.
That's
Yeah.
right on that, like Scarowinds with the where you're in the front row, it's
Yeah,
dark, you have the
yeah,
headlights on the car,
yeah,
it's,
fog.
yeah, it's awesome.
For me, I'm just disappointed that it doesn't spin, personally. And because of that, I don't know, it just doesn't rank as high because of it. So I sometimes suffer from what I call the Brandon Stoff syndrome, where an amazing ride, I go, it's not that good because, it could have been slightly better. So, stop sleeping on Afterburn. Did you fall asleep on Afterburn?
It's impossible. I don't sleep on Afterburn. It's my favorite BNM member. I like it better than Montu.
I think you'd hit your head and it'd wake you up pretty quick.
I love it. It's so good. I like Montu. Alpengeist is good. But Afterburn, back row, do that Batwing, just
Yep.
every time. And the Emmelman and everything.
Hi King D Vlogs. Thank you for all the rides and help on Fury. It's a Fury operator.
Oh,
Busy.
yeah, great.
Yeah.
We love the Fury crew. Thank y'all for working. We see you guys a bunch. We love Mr. Claudius.
Have you ever been to Wonderland Amusement Park in Texas?
No.
And rode the
I
Hornet?
have not.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I have. It's okay. Best good you had today at the park. What was the best thing that you had today at the park, or that you did, other than ride the ride?
The kiddie coaster.
The kitty?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think the best was meeting people and just being around other people. Like, we'll never have a day like that there again because it was the buzz. Everyone wanted to be there. That we're able to get there, and that was really cool because you had enthusiasts, you had families, you had a really nice mix of people, and that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
To be able to ride this ride and know that you are doing the same thing everyone else is doing. You're not the only crazy person riding this ride for 27 times.
A lot of people planned trips around it for the last month like we did, and
yeah. All right, a few more questions. I mean, that turned my air on. I'm getting really hot. I'm not going to sleep good in the night. It's like 65 degrees in here.
Okay. Chat froze on my main laptop, so I don't know what's going on.
Jeez.
But I got the second one here going. Some people are saying that this is quickly becoming their favorite channel. You guys are grinding today, so
yeah, a lot of
congratulations.
Thank you very much for all the support. Really do mean that. It was really cool. It was definitely neat. It was cool, like, seeing Coaster Studios and like interact with them for a few minutes, saying hi and stuff, and know that I'm not some just small YouTuber now. Like, I have a good following and people know who I am, and that's really was special to me, knowing that like I have this saying now is where I might not be the best YouTuber, but I'm the hardest working YouTuber, and I love everything about this stuff.
Another one, dude. Brandon is nonstop grinding. He is really consistent.
I try.
You are a grinder, grinding away. Ride Hornet, laugh out loud. Used to be on an island across from me. Still have the original building up. Island Park has been closed for 30 years now. Was it a relocate?
What?
Hornet?
Oh,
Yeah. Check it out.
don't know.
Yeah. Nobody's asked this yet. I'm surprised. How is it compared to Twisted Timbers? Because that's the first thing we all talked about on the ride.
We all compared it to Twisted at first.
Yeah. But no, that's the first question in the whole chat.
I think that's a very good.
That's a great question.
I think that's. I love the barrel. I'm a sucker for the barrel roll down drops. I love them, and I love that. And those airtime hills on Twisted Timbers are good.
Yeah.
We'll ride it in a few days, so I'll get my. I've been on.
Oh, yeah, I guess we will. Huh?
But I really feel like Arie Force One's better overall. Again, if you ride it later in the day, that's the asterisk.
then the second half, Air Force was way better.
Yeah. So we'll see. All right. Any other Arie Force One questions? We're gonna be signing off here because it's just after midnight, I think, and we have to be at Six Flags over Georgia for a full day at Six Flags tomorrow. We have to get a nice dinner somewhere though, because I need to regroup.
Yeah.
And just relax. That Outback was legit. We just relaxed for an hour, charged the phones, got some liquids. But overall, Arie Force One, it's great. You guys gotta go ride it. It's 20 minutes south of, 30 minutes south of Six Flags over Georgia. It's by far the best coaster in Georgia. I've been on everything at Six Flags. And I mean, Wild Adventures does have some really good coasters, and I think that should be up for discussion. It's better than Arie Force One, but no, I'm just joking. But yeah. Anyways,
Thanks, everybody.
thank you guys for having us. Great. Tomorrow we're gonna be a little bit less grind. We're just gonna enjoy more.
We're not live streaming from Batman and live streaming from walking around the park.
I will live stream, or
I will steal his phone and live stream him taking a nap on a park bench
if you
at
guys,
some point in time.
If you guys want me to live stream, let me know in the comments, or if you want to vlog, let me know in the comments. As always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and keep riding coasters. Actually, think positive, smile tonight, because it's tonight now.
Well, no, today is tomorrow.
That is
true.
It is.
Yeah.
It's 12:30.
We're half hour
Oh
after
my gosh.
midnight. Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Thank y'all. Appreciate everybody. Mean that.